Excerpts of teachings of Ramana Maharishi from Reminiscences of Persons contained in the book Face to Face with Sri Ramana Maharishi, Reminiscence 21 to 30. Oliver Lacombe, L'attache culturelle, Consulat General de France, Calcutta, noted. The Maharishi's method is comprised within the simple interrogation, "Who am I?" With him, 3 words only are enough to sum up the long traditional description of the way of liberation. As mentioned by the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, "Lo, verily, it is the self that should be seen, that should be hearkened to, that should be thought on, that should be pondered on." A.S. Panchapakesa Iyer belonged to the Indian civil service of pre-independence era, and he noted, "I was first attracted to the great sage Ramana by reading his book, Who Am I? I liked immensely his clear exposition of the matter, which was only the typical Hindu exposition, namely, that the real I is not the gunny bag of the body, or the Decca muslin of the mind, or the spider's web of the ego, but something above and beyond all this, namely, the Atman." He said to one and all, "Look within, don't look around." To a man who stated that he could not understand the world at all, Sri Ramana replied, "As you are, so is this world. Without understanding yourself, what is the use of trying to understand the world?" To another individual who asked the Maharshi persistently, "Why is God so unjust?" the Maharshi's cool retort was, "Why ask me? Go and ask him." On being told that he could not go to him to ask him, the swift retort was, "When you cannot reach him, how can you question him?" Professor T.M.P. Mahadevan was the head, Department of Philosophy, Madras University, and he noted, "The Maharshi tells that we will never get at reality if we take the appearance to be real. The dream world appears all too real to us so long as we are in it. But as soon as we are awake, we realize its unsubstantiality." He believes that the self is best taught in silence. He says, "Silence is ever speaking. It is a perennial flow of language." For the benefit of those who cannot understand the language of silence, the Maharshi sometimes talks, but he warns at the same time that questions and answers lie within the region of avidya. Till the dawn of wisdom, doubts will necessarily arise. Once the self is realized, there will be no problem to be solved. The Maharshi's method of self-inquiry ends in mental suicide. It provides an instrument whereby the mind destroys itself, thus revealing the self. The Maharshi directs us to put ourselves the question, "Who am I?" But this is not an empty formula or a barren mantra to be muttered. Patient, intelligent, and unsparing effort is required before progress could be registered on this arduous journey. The Maharshi teaches that the heart on the right side of the chest is the seat of the self. He makes it very clear that any reference to the physical body is only from the empirical point of view. From the absolute standpoint, it is impossible to locate the heart or self in any place, either inside the body or outside. So, when any particular part of the body is spoken of as the seat of the self, it is so described only as an aid to the layman's understanding. It would not be possible to realize the self if there is attachment to the objects of senses. The Maharshi told a Grihastha who was tormented by the thought that this was a despicable position, unhelpful to spiritual achievement. "Whether you continue the household or renounce it and go to the forest, your mind haunts you. The obstacle is the mind. It must be got over, whether in the home or in the forest." These words, however, should be interpreted with great care. They were given in answer to a grihastha who was trying to assess the relative value of his own ashrama and sannyasa. If he was really keen on renunciation, he would not have argued or hesitated. One who feels the burning heat of a red-hot iron rod does not take even the space of a moment to let go his hold of it. Rudraraj Pandey, principal of Trichandra College, Nepal, noted, "We want to draw a circle without caring to decide or even to consider in the first instance as to where the center should be. And having drawn hardly a fraction of the circumference, we go on shifting the center. What wonder then that in the end we do not at all complete the figure of a circle?" To be able to achieve anything commensurate with man's intellectual capacity, he must seek in the first instance the center of his being and be firmly established therein. To achieve this end, Atma Vichara is the means par excellence. Sri Ramana does not consider the question of reality or otherwise of the world as of first importance. According to him, it is both undesirable and foolish to dispute the reality or unreality of the world when one has not the right knowledge of oneself. Sri Ramana shifts the emphasis from the what is the nature of the world to the much more vital question, who am I? This, in my view, is the most substantial contribution the Maharishi makes to the world thought.